Friends, foes, and everything in between. Super welcome to today's video. Guys, today we're going through all the FPSs releasing in the month of July, with one of them being a third-person shooter. Now, this is a pretty dry month when it comes to shooter games, though we have some good releases, just not plenty of them. But let's not waste any more time looking at this face. Let's watch the games. Let's start with the third-person shooter, shall we? Exoprimal. Exoprimal is an online team-based action game that pits humanity's cutting-edge exosuit technology against history's most ferocious beasts, the dinosaurs. Now, exosuits are grouped into different roles, and players will pilot these exosuits to hold firm against overwhelming dinosaur swarms in online-only team-based action game modes. Now, I did actually get a chance to play the beta of this one, and while I did actually have a good time with it, I'm a little skeptical on how long this game will survive. I mean, it has a few different exosuits that all play differently from each other, so the chance to switch it up is there, but the core gameplay, it goes something like this. Enter a zone, kill the swarm of dinos coming, go to the next zone, do the same thing, rinse and repeat, and be the fastest team in doing so for an advantage at the end objective, which has you doing something but in the same area as the other team, meaning you can intervene and start killing each other. And that all sounds super cool and nice, but it did get repetitive only after about 2 hours of playtime. And this being a live service game and all, it needs to not feel repetitive after that short amount of playtime. But hey, time will tell if they have added more modes and things to do in the full release. But the sheer amount of dinos and graphics, they are mighty impressive, so it's worth keeping an eye out for. Okay, don't kill me. Yes, I'm including a non-shooting game in here. Why, you might ask? Well, I thought it'd be nice to recommend a game that looks really good if you're wanting a break from all the killing demons and dinosaurs. So this, my friends, is Project Sphinx. Sphinx. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But in Project Sphinx, you play a first-person puzzle-solving game and you are a robot with a mission on a space station. And like any great robot, you're going to have to explore, teleport and ricochet your way around the base, in which each room and corridor is a puzzle for you to solve. So this is giving me some huge Portal vibes, but at the same time it looks to really bring its own flavor to the table. Now the graphics looks to be well polished and the puzzle elements seems to be unique, fun and really head-scratching actually. But that is to say, I think I completed 2 puzzle games in my entire life. So I can't really say how unique the puzzles look, because I don't know. But from my experience, they look unique enough. Now you will be exploring an abandoned space station in space, left there by a mega corporation for some unknown reason. And the main source of navigation and puzzle solving will be through your transforming robot hand that you can shoot balls with, that you can teleport to. Sounds pretty neat, right? And honestly, I think it sounds like a good game to relax a bit with. Now let me know in the comments if this piqued your interest or not, and if you still haven't decided if this game is for you, well, there is a free demo on Steam to help you make up your mind. Okay, so this game is technically already out on itch.io, but it is getting a release on Steam on the 14th of July, and with it comes the latest version that you can't find on itch. So what is Sharpshooter 3D? Well, it is one messed up game to say the least, but at the same time quite enjoyable and very gorgeous to look at. It's been created using the GC Doom engine with some really impressive and high-resolution sprites, with a ton of environmental detail in some places. Other places are just very empty for some reason. So the description for the game, it goes something like this. Sharpshooter 3D is a first-person subculture shooter in the best old-school traditions. Burn, destroy, kill! When corrupt politicians look only for their own benefit, marginalized drug addicts go crazy, and the world consumes insanity. Only the maddest madman can stop this nightmare. And that, my friends, is the game's description, and you can clearly hear from the get-go that this is one messed up game. And I have to say, not always in a good way, so if you're going into this, have a strong stomach and healthy mindset. Don't take anything serious in this game. Oh, I absolutely love the idea of My Friendly Neighborhood. It has a free demo on Steam that you can play, and essentially what this game is, if you were to imagine the Muppet Show, and then take the characters from that, put them in a System Shock-like game, but turn the environments into a huge TV studio. Well, then you got My Friendly Neighborhood, and it is just as great as it sounds. It's got slow pace to it, making every shot count. Some really dangerous and sometimes scary enemies, some really cool inventory management that doesn't get overwhelming, or at least in the demo it didn't. And some half bad, half good graphics to it that are sometimes prettier to look at than other times, but overall it's a fairly nice treat for your eyes, considering being a very small budget indie game and all. But the weapons, my friends, it is truly what makes this game so special. The guns are some of the most unique I've ever seen, and it gets really exciting every time you find a new one due to the uniqueness of them. Now the description of the game, it goes something like this. Something scary is happening with everyone's favorite Saturday morning puppet show. The Friendly Neighborhood. You play as Gordon, a repairman sent to the bottom of this disturbing dilemma. You have to fend off puppets and solve puzzles in this survival horror adventure. And I'm freaking down for it. Turbo Overkill. Perhaps the best and most ambitious one-man developed game ever, and it's getting its full 1.0 release in 18th of July. Now, it's been a long time coming, but it's also been very, very worth it. The sheer quality, mechanics, content, and overall awesomeness of this game is incredible. Now, unfortunately, there is no free demo for you to test this thing out, so you're going to have to take my word for it. Oh wait, there is actually a free demo, but still, take my word for it, okay? Now, all that aside though, this is a pretty hard game, but for the most time it is a very fair one, but sometimes it is not. Sometimes the game just throws so many enemies your way, it's hard to know left from right, making it feel a little unfair. So you better expect to be replaying some segments before actually beating them. Luckily, the game has an autosave function that works perfectly, so you won't be having any "oh shit, I forgot to save" moments, luckily. And usually, I hate it when games feel unfair. But in this game, there's always a platform in the segment that you missed, or one of the gun's alternative fire that you forgot even existed. And once you figure it out on your third attempt, you feel more stupid than the game actually feels unfair. And then when you get to the next hard part, you actually remembered something existed, or you actually scouted for some platforming before dying, making you feel like a total badass. Now the game actually has the perfect formula for mixing with your feelings, and I absolutely love it. And the game's description, it goes something like this. You play as Johnny Turbo, who's cleaning up paradise, a cyber city seized by sin, an all-seeing AI dead set on destruction. You have to fight to purge sin. Don't miss this badass game, okay? Immortals of Aveum, a AAA studio trying to make a modernized Hexen? What? Now, I don't know if that's true, but I'm getting some vibes of it. Immortals of Aveum is a single-player first-person magic shooter that tells the story of Jack as he joins an elite order of battle mages to save a world on the edge of abyss. With legions of soldiers on both sides of the ever war, he must uncover the mysteries of Aveum's troubled past if there's any hope for saving its future. I mean, it sounds half neat, not going to lie, and the graphics, they look mighty impressive. Now the combat, it looks decent, but what sets me off a bit with this game is all the scripted sequences that we have been seeing. Judging from what we saw during the summer showcase, it looked to be able to bring a really cool and good time to the table, but with a shit ton of scripted sequences. Now actually, I might have to change my mind on this one. It's not a modern Hexen, more like a grown-up Harry Potter set in a World of Warcraft looking world. But hey, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments, and do you think it will be broken on launch as 9 out of 10 AAA games have been? Or do you think this might be a working one on its launch? Being a single player game and all? I mean, I've come to expect AAA games to be broken on launch by now, but hey, let me know what you think. Now for this bad boy, I have not played the original Rise of the Triad, but I definitely will play the Ludicrous edition releasing on the 31st of July. Now, Rise of the Triad Ludicrous edition takes place back to the era when shooters were elegant in their simplicity and filled with balls to the wall ferocious action. brought into the modern era courtesy of Night Dive's famous Kicks engine. The Ludicrous edition features 4K visuals, increased field of vision, 60 frames per second of bullets, explosions, an enchanted baseball bat, cloud saves, achievements, multiplayer support, and much more. In Rise of the Triad Ludicrous edition, players gear up with a 5-person task force known as the Hunt, High-Risk United Nations Task Force, to infiltrate a mysterious and exceedingly dangerous island full of maniacal cultists. With an updated HUD and UI elements, players can enjoy the classic campaign plus restored cut content and a new original story episode in Rise of the Triad universe. And once you have blasted through the single-player campaign, well, you can grab a few pals and engage in some old-school multiplayer combat deathmatch with multiple modes. I mean, this is sounding pretty awesome, and I did play the demo in my live stream, but I was pretty tired when I did that, and it went to shit. But I will be giving this game another go off stream, so don't you worry. Now let me know in the comments, did you play the original Triad, or will you be jumping into this for the first time just like me? And while waiting for these fantastic games, why don't you go ahead and check out these amazing shooters?